Hello. It's me again. I'm here because you need books. You need pure, happy, magical books, and I'm here to provide you with that books. Honestly, middle grades are probably my favorite genre of books. Not only they make me feel... That was my sister. Someone called me and I don't know who that was. Let's just ignore that. So, middle grade. Not only they make me feel so pure and so happy inside, but they literally make my inner child feel like going on Disneyland. And I couldn't tell you how that feels like exactly because I've never been to Disneyland, but I imagine that is how I would feel. I just love how they make me feel. I love how the magic is explored there. The idea of love, pureness, sadness, growing up. I just love the vibe, basically. And I also want to underline the fact that even though they're cold, obviously they're not written only for middle grades. I want to underline this fact because many people feel weird and awkward reading that, even though because of the fact that they're not young anymore. So let me tell you, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm past that years, but I still find those books beautiful and amazing, which I find extremely ordinary. Not ordinary. No. Which I'm really grateful about that, because to me, inner child is something extremely important, and it should be for everyone to, be happy. Inner child is really extremely topic, and I don't want to dwell on it, but I think it's really important to allow ourselves to feel this sort of beauty, magic, and happiness. We can have it through reading those kind of books. I just want to tell that if you ever felt weird about doing stuff for kids, stop, because this will only make you feel happier about yourself, about the world. Do not care what other people think. I got you. I read books for children too. I watch Disney. I watch many things for children, so it's alright. As long as that makes you happy, just go for it, okay? That's a simple reminder. And now we can continue. So I'm gonna recommend you a few middle grade books that I personally love, and I feel like you will love them too. I will recommend you books that feel like pure happiness, like magic, like joy, and here they are. Let me take the first one. Should I prepare that before? I don't know. That is the first book, which is A Wrinkle in Time. It is a magical story about a girl named Meg, her brother, and friend of theirs. They're about to set off a journey to save father of two siblings. Father who has mysteriously disappeared. What happened? What happened to him? Where is he now? Is he dead? They have to go through this dangerous journey beyond the world to save him and also save the world. They have to set to the world. They have to travel to the different universe. They have to fight darkness due to save the universe, save the father, and that's it, basically. The book is full of magic, but what I really liked was that it was also somehow full of science too, and how the concept of universe was explored there, the concept of space, of other dimensions. I think they were really nicely explored right here. Also the philosophy, I think it was really not only cute and magical book, but somehow educational. It was really cute and very adventurous story about, family, journey, growing up, about universe and world. It was very pure, very sweet, and it was very quick read, so I do recommend this one. Number 2. Oh man, I did not answer Numero 1. This is the Scandalous Sisterhood of Prickwillow place. Every time I have a problem with saying this title. The title is long, but it doesn't matter because the book was good. The Scandalous Sisterhood of Prickwillow place. This is a really great mystery story about a group of girls who live in a boarding school. A story about a group of girls who live in a boarding school whose headmistress and her brother were mysteriously killed, were murdered, put to death, destroyed. You got the idea? Girls know that if someone finds out about that situation, they will be sent to their homes, which they do not really want. Every single one of them has their own reason for staying, so they decide not to tell anyone about the murder and to keep on living and pretending that nothing has happened. They decide to bury the bodies and start to sort of play and act and pretend that they just... So they start this act, they start this lie, and they just pretend like everything is normal. Not like their headmistress is literally laying at the back of their house, buried next to her dead brother, buried. It was a brilliant book. It was funny, it was whimsical, it was such a great mystery. Even though it was a book for middle grade or whatever, the mystery was great, and I didn't solve it. It was very, very charmful. The way the characters were explored here was so cute. Every girl is different, it's very original. Here you have like pictures of every single one of them. I loved it because it was quite a few, like how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 girls. It was really cool to have like the idea of them and then, you know, to read about them. I thought that was really, really cool. I loved it. It was so cool. It was so funny. It was literally so funny. Like the jokes here and the way the girls acted and behaved. I loved it. I thought it was so cute. If you feel like you need to laugh or like a cute mystery story, read this one. The next one, oh my goodness, oh my god. This one was so good. It's The Girl Who Drank the Moon. It was so cute. It was pure happiness, pure joy, pure serotonin. I think I'm gonna reread that soon. It was really so sweet. The story is about a girl who, after being left to death into the woods, then being saved by the witch, is being fed by the moonlight. That sentence was probably very grammatically incorrect. I'm explaining, okay? I know it might be a little bit confusing, but I'm here to tell you. So we have these two villages, okay? We have two villages and the forest between two villages. You follow? The villagers from one of the villages live in this awareness that there is an evil witch in the forest, and they are just so sure that due to not to be destroyed by the witch, they need to offer her child every once of a year. I don't remember. Every year, yeah. They feel like they're certain that they have to sacrifice child every year due to not to be destroyed by the witch, which is absurd because there is a witch in the forest, in fact, but there's a really good and pure witch in the forest, and she has no idea, she has no clue why the people from the village are doing this and leaving children in the forest. So basically every year she goes into the woods, she does take the child because she does not want it to be killed or eaten by animals. She takes this kid to the other village to provide them with better life. But one time, accidentally, she finds this girl, the baby, she's the baby, and accidentally she feeds her with moonlight, which is magic. And that causes some problems because now the girl is filled, you know, with power. So witch decides to keep her and raise her as her own, to show her the world, show her magic, and simply take care of her. And that is just the beginning of the book. I don't want to say no more because that's a lot inside. The idea of evil is extremely important here. How the system works, how the politics also. Characters inside were so gorgeous, so pure and so whimsical. The witch herself is such a cute old lady. She lives with those two creatures, with a very cute dragon and like a monster sort of thing, which I'm not sure how to explain, but they're just so cute, so cute. I love how the book was written, how the whole world was explored, how the characters behaved, the idea of love and motherhood, like everything what is important and pure was captured here. I literally melted. I want my children to read this, and I want you to read this. I want you to be happy and smile. So read this. Ooh! We are going to my favorite writer ever. Do you know who that is? Try to guess. There's no freaking idea you'll get it. I literally have never said that yet. Are you ready? Neil. Mr. Genius. Mr. Perfection. I'm speechless when it comes to his work. Every single one. I haven't read every single one of his books yet, but I've read many. And I've been thinking which one should I talk about. Finally, I picked two. I was not able to choose only one. I had to choose more. So that's the first one. Miss Coraline. Coraline. Oh my god. You might have seen the movie, which was obviously brilliant. If you haven't, let me tell you what is the story about. It follows Coraline, of course. And she's just like most of the children are. She's adventurous, she's curious, she wants to explore, world. Yet her parents are like many parents are. They're very focused on their work, not caring about her that much, not paying attention to her, maybe a little bit dull and a little bit depressed when they're being so focused. So at the beginning of the novel, they're moving to the new house. Coraline is excited and Coraline wants to explore. She's bored, she wants to get to know the place, but the parents, they do not pay attention to her at all. Coraline decides to uncover possible mysteries by herself. So when the parents are being so focused on their work, Coraline discovers a mystery door in her house that are closed. Then she opens them. She finds these magical doors that lead her to sort of a different universe. I need to change the battery. We were talking about Coraline. I don't want to spoil too much. I want to give you this opportunity to discover the beauty of it by yourself. So please do, because that's a great book. It is such a beautiful story about bravery, about growing up, fighting evil, and also about family too. It touches upon topics like parenthood, relationships between you and yourself, you and your parents. Upon this, books has such a creepy vibe that I personally love. It's a great read for Halloween, for example, if you want to feel a bit spooky, if you want to feel spookiness. I recommend this so much. Coraline is such a great character. It's one of my favorite characters ever. Don't even let me start about the cats. The cats, they got me crazy, dude. And then we go to the fifth one, which is another Neil's book, which is, can you guess? Why would you? Honestly, boom, it's a graveyard book. Neil describes it as spooky jungle book. No, I don't think he ever said that. He definitely was inspired by the Jungle Book, but I don't think he said that it was spooky jungle book. I couldn't not include this one here. I could not. It is a fantasy novel about a boy whose family has been really murdered by someone, by a killer, by a murderer. The boy manages to escape the house before being killed, and he finds himself in a graveyard. Very safe space for not a very safe space for a baby, you'd think. Wrong. Jeszcze 5 minut! He's not alone there. He's being watched by souls, by ghosts. The souls of dead are the dead, literally the dead, decide to take care of him and raise him as their own. Since his whole family has been murdered, they take him under their protection. Being raised by the ghosts, the boy tries to be a boy. I mean, he tried to still be educated, to survive, find himself, which is hard because he cannot live the graveyard, he cannot talk to people. Life's a bit harsh on him. The reader follows the story about him finding his true self, his identity, and you could think about that as a jungle book but with ghosts. And the book was just so pure, so whimsical, and I wouldn't say word magical because it was more spooky than magical, but still it had this sort of fantastical, it is a fantasy novel. The book was very gloomy, mysterious, perfect for everyone who loves adventure, journey, spookiness, and books, honestly. Then we go, oh, that's so good. I'm so excited. Two more, which are like the last one is literally my favorite book. So now we have the sixth one, The House at the Cerulean Sea. This book is also what you could call pure happiness. And I know I've been saying that all over this video, but I'm not lying. This is a beautiful story about a rather sad and depressed man. He's not very happy with his life. He lives in this routine, not being very fulfilled. He has this works for this company that checks whether orphanages are run with a care for children if they're safe, the environment is good, with the small exception that those orphanages are houses with children, of course, children with supernatural abilities, very peculiar and magical abilities. So Linus, this one time, is being sent to one of those orphanages to look it up, to search if the orphanage is working well, if the headmaster is doing a good job as a guardian, and whether the place should be closed because of the dangerous and very peculiar kids that are living there. Peculiar, I said peculiar wrong. Dangerous and peculiar. This is one of the most beautiful and touching stories I have ever read. How Linus had to change his surrounding and learn to live again. So interesting to read about, and it was so beautiful to see him with children, seeing him going out of his comfort zone, seeing him trying new things, sort of not growing up, but like seeing the world in a different way. It was so beautiful to watch him becoming part of the orphanage. The characters, Jesus, the characters are the core of the story, honestly. The kids inside this book, every single one of them was just so original, so amazingly built. I'm not exaggerating, okay? Maybe a little bit, but I don't think so. The book was so funny, so whimsical, and just so cute. I don't want to say too much, but I cried at the end because of how pure it was. The relationship and the characters in this book was everything. That's something that I always go for, to see pureness and beauty in people, in relationships between them. The book just gave me so much joy, and I really recommend this to you. We're going next. Okay, the last one is Howl's Moving Castle. What can I say? I'm a huge fan of this story, not only the book but also the movie. I'm literally tearing up thinking about this. Literally, this story awakens everything that is good in me, everything what is best in me. It gives me beauty of the world, it gives me joy, fills my heart with magic. I just can't stop smiling. The story is about Sophie. Minutka! Już kończę! A girl who is turned by an evil witch to an old lady. Why, you ask? I don't know, I guess the witch was in a bad mood. So she's being cursed by the witch, and she has to live with that curse, not being able to talk about that, because this is also part of the curse. So Sophie, being an old lady, she decides to set out on a journey. She has nothing to lose, she's an old woman, so she goes on this journey. She comes across this very mysterious castle that is moving, and that's how the story starts. She comes across this very interesting castle, the moving castle, in which very peculiar characters live. We have Howl, the man, the guy, the boy. He's the owner of the castle. We have his student and the very cute little demon, Calcifer, that controls the castle, the way it moves. Besides, that is the beginning of the story, and there's a lot that comes after it, and I don't want to tell you too much if you don't know it. I was charmed how every theme was explored there. The magic, the idea of love, the idea of the family, the friendship. Also the idea of war too, it's important here. The author amazingly created the relationship between characters, the bonds, how the bonds were built, how important they came to each other. Starting with not knowing each other at all. I love characters in this book. I love the love between them. Oh no, sun disappeared. I believe that literally everyone deserves to be part of this journey. Literally everyone deserves to read this, you know? It's like, please do it. Do it. I feel like everyone should feel this sort of magic in their life. There's never too much of it. You can become crazy fairy or rich like me, but that's the only thing. Besides that, there's never too much of magic. Okay, everyone, that was it. There was 7 books about magic. Not all of them were about magic. 7, my favorite 7 middle grade books. I hope you got something out of it. I really do. I hope you will read these books because it is important important, you know? It is important to fulfill ourselves with this sort of feeling of happiness, magic, and childhood. Those books made me so happy, and I really want the same for you that you watch that, and for everyone, because I think that's so important. Finally, I do want to remind you, us, adults, young adults, that it is essential for us to connect with our inner child to feel happiness. We need to prioritize that. So let yourself feel magic, let yourself read a cute whimsical book, watch cute whimsical movie, or maybe buy a doll or a teddy bear. Because in the end, we are all kids, just a little bit taller. I love you all. Do not forget about the magic. Okay? Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye, bye, bye. Już, Olga! Thank you, and I'm sorry! I'm so sorry! Oh, shit. Want to say hi?
Oh, hi.